Hi all, in this session we are going to see how we can check whether the table content is in sorted order or not. So in the left hand side, sample table that I am showing. So this table is taken from w3schools.com. Here we have a two column. One is name and country, and both columns are in sortable options are available. So if you click on name, so it gets sorted based on the name, and if you click on country, it gets sorted based on the country. So we will write a Selenium code, and then we will see what kind of logic we can use to validate whether this sorting works as expected or not. First, we will try to identify this particular table. I'm going to open developer tools. I'm going to identify this table, and this table ID is my table 2. So we'll write the code to identify this particular element. Find element by ID, and then ID value is this. Okay, now we have the table object. Next thing is to get the data from this table. So we will write the logic for that. We need to iterate over the rows and then columns to get the data. So first I'll write the row to get the data for that. So within this table we want to find the rows. So I'm giving a dot and then followed by tr. Okay, and if you see this particular table, the heading is having the tag as th, and the value is having the tag as td. So we want only the value. We will ignore this particular column names. So for that, I am going to include a filter to identify only the rows that have td tags. Okay. So this for loop is going to iterate over the td tag. So row object is going to contain the data for each row. So within this each row we have the td tag. So we have to get the data for these two columns. So how to do it? We have the row. From this row we will identify so it should be elements, because we will be getting multiple rows, and then from the row we want to identify td value. Okay, and this we will use export, because we are going to use export URL. So from the row we have to put a dot. From the current row we want td tag. Okay, so this will give us the column elements. So now column of 0 dot text is going to give the value the name, and column of 1 is going to give the country name. So we will store these two values in a list. Okay. I will say table data. I initialize here is empty, and then here I am going to append the value that we retrieved from the HTML table. Okay. So now we have written the logic to extract the contents from this HTML table and then store it in the list. Okay, so we will first print the list, and to see the first part is working fine. Oh, sorry, I missed the Y. Okay. Here I missed to add the list. So this is a list and list within a list. Okay. So we are inserting the first the name and then country, and then we are saying this is a list, and within that list, this list we are going to add in another list. So it will be a list of list to represent this table. In the list we are going to use this approach, a list of list. Okay. Okay, now we will run this code and see what happens. Okay, now we are getting the data. As we see in the HTML table, we have the data that is getting stored in the this table data list now. So next is we will do the sorting. Okay. So we have a method in the Python sorted. This will take the list as an argument, and then in case if it is a normal list, then you can just pass the list, but for us here is a list of list, right? So this is one list and this list is available in another list, right? So for that we need to say which column we want to pass. So this is multiple columns are there, right? So we have to say which column we want to use it for sorting. Okay, so here we are going to use lambda expression. Okay, and what this lambda expression is going to use is a row. Okay, let's say here we already have a row, so I'm going to use rows. Okay, rows is each the inner list part. So this one is considered as row. Okay, something like we see it in the HTML table. So this one is row, this one is another row, like that I'm using it here. So each of this item will be passed to this lambda function, and this list is having two values, right? So let's say we want to use country as a sorting key. Okay, so that means when we click on country, so it is sorting the value under the country in the alphabetical order. In the same way, it is also sorting the related mapping data. Okay, so we need to sort based on some key. That is, we are going to use the country. Country means here we are having it in the second value. So if it is a first value, we have to use the name, then we have to pass the index as 0. As we are going to use the second column as the key, we are going to use the value as 1. Okay. So this will sort the data in the ascending order, and then it will and then it will return the sorted data. Okay. Now we can, I'll just put a print statement to say whether this sorted data is equal to our original data. Okay, so this is going to print true or false. based on the country column based sorting. Okay, so let me I'll try to collapse it here. Okay, so now it is not in the sorting order. We will run this code. Now you see it is giving the value as false as expected. So this country is not in the sorted order. Our expectation is also it should be returning false. Now we will sort it. Okay, so now the country is in sorted alphabetical sorted order. Now we will run this code. It should return true now. Now we can see the value is coming as true. And I'm clicking the country column name again. So it is showing in the reverse order, right? So now if I run, it should give the value as false. So it is giving false. So in the previous example, we saw this code is going to sort us in the ascending order by default. If you want to do reverse sorting, then you can pass this parameter reverse is equal to true. Then this function is going to sort the data in the reverse order or descending order, and then it will give the data for us. Now if you run this code, it will give the result as false. Okay. So here we have used the column 1, that means country. Now we will try to check the sorting of the name column. Okay, so currently it is not in any of the sorting order. Okay, so now if we run, it will give the result as false. So let me also print this data so that we can easily verify. Okay, so we'll run it again. Okay, so if you see this, this is the original data and this is the sorted data. Both are not equal, so it is showing as false. Now we will, so here we have set at reverse. Now we have to click the name 2 times. I did. Now it is in the reverse order, right? So we will run this code and check. Now we can see the data is coming as true. So, and the results also you can see the first line is the original data and second line is the sorted data. So this way we can sort a HTML table, or like we can check whether the table is in the sorted order or not. Thanks for watching.